What if I told you that the foods you've been avoiding your entire adult life are actually the exact ones your body needs most after 60? I'm not talking about some trendy diet or expensive supplements. I'm talking about real, whole foods with zero sugar and zero carbs that support your heart, strengthen your muscles, protect your brain, and naturally balance your blood sugar without any medication. Stay with me because food number 3 on this list has been quietly helping thousands of seniors get off their blood pressure. Medications, and almost nobody's talking about it. I've spent 30 years in this space, and what I'm about to share with you today could genuinely change how you feel when you wake up tomorrow morning. The problem. Here's what happens after 60, and I know you know this. Something shifts. Foods that used to give you energy now leave you exhausted by mid-afternoon. You might notice your blood sugar numbers creeping up at your doctor's appointments. Your legs feel heavier when you climb stairs. Your mind isn't quite as sharp as it used to be, and you're forgetting names or where you put your keys. And here's the frustrating part. Many of us are still eating the same foods we ate in our 40s and 50s, not realizing that those foods are quietly spiking inflammation and raising our blood sugar levels without us even knowing it. That's exactly why more and more Americans in their 60s, 70s, and beyond are turning to low-carb, no-sugar eating. Not for weight loss, though that's a nice side effect. They're doing it for survival, to stay mobile, to think clearly, to stay out of the hospital and maintain their independence. In this video, we're going to walk through 8 powerful foods that contain virtually no carbs and absolutely no sugar, but are absolutely packed with the nutrients your aging body desperately needs. And I'm not just going to list them and move on. I'm going to walk you through exactly how each one protects your energy, your circulation, and your independence as you age. So let's dive right in. Food 1: leafy greens, spinach and kale. Let's start with one of the simplest yet most powerful changes you can make to your diet right now. Leafy greens. I'm talking about spinach, kale, Swiss chard, arugula, collard greens. These aren't just salad fillers or something you push to the side of your plate. They're some of the only foods on Earth that deliver absolutely massive health benefits with virtually zero carbs and zero sugar. 1 cup of raw spinach has just 1 gram of carbs, mostly fiber, and almost no sugar at all. Yet it's absolutely loaded with vitamin A for immune support, vitamin C for cell repair, and vitamin K for bone strength. These nutrients help your body recover faster, protect your arteries from damage, and even slow aging on a cellular level. Let me tell you about Margaret. She's 68, lives in Ohio, and she didn't believe any of this stuff at first. She felt bloated all the time, sluggish, and she just chalked it up to getting older. But after her doctor recommended cutting out processed carbs and adding more leafy greens to her meals, she decided to give it a shot. She swapped her usual ham and cheese sandwich for a big spinach salad with olive oil, a boiled egg, and some cherry tomatoes. Within 2 weeks, she told me she felt lighter. Her thinking was clearer. Even her joint pain, which had bothered her for years, started to ease up. She said, and I quote, "I didn't change much, just what I put on my plate." That's the whole point here. This isn't about restriction or suffering through some miserable diet. It's about replacement. It's about swapping out foods that don't serve you anymore for foods that actually do. So here's what I want you to do. Start your lunch or dinner with just 1 cup of raw spinach, or gently saute some kale in olive oil for about 5 minutes. That one small change can help keep your blood sugar stable and your energy consistent all day long. Now, greens are incredibly powerful, but what if I told you there's a crunchy vegetable that actually helps your body detox excess sugar before it even becomes a problem? Let's look at that next. Food number 2: non-starchy vegetables, broccoli and cauliflower. Next up, We've got two humble vegetables that can quietly transform how your body feels after every single meal. Broccoli and cauliflower. They're not flashy. They don't come with fancy labels like Superfood or Miracle Veggie. But what they do inside your body, that's where the real magic happens. You see, both of these are non-starchy vegetables, which means they're naturally low in carbs and contain absolutely no sugar at all. But here's the kicker. They're loaded with fiber, the kind of fiber that slows down digestion and helps prevent those dreaded blood sugar spikes that leave you feeling tired and foggy. That's why they're so critically important for people over 60. As we age, our insulin sensitivity drops. Our bodies don't process sugar the way they used to, and blood sugar becomes harder and harder to manage. But these vegetables slow things down in the best possible way. They help your body release sugar more gently into your bloodstream, and they keep you feeling full and satisfied without raising your glucose levels. Let me tell you about Harold. He's 72, retired postal worker from Florida. He used to dread mornings. Stiff joints, no energy, couldn't get out of bed without groaning. He thought it was just aging, and there was nothing he could do about it. But then his wife started roasting broccoli and cauliflower with olive oil and sea salt 3 nights a week. Within about a month, Harold noticed something strange. He could get out of bed faster in the morning. His knees didn't ache nearly as much. Even his blood pressure came down a few points during his regular checkup. And the best part? He didn't feel like he was on some restrictive diet. He was just eating real food. So if you haven't already, start with just 1 cup of roasted or steamed broccoli or cauliflower every day. Toss in some garlic, a drizzle of olive oil, maybe a squeeze of lemon. Keep it simple, but make it consistent. And let me ask you this. Have you already added any of these to your meals? Drop a comment below and share your experience. Your routine might genuinely help someone else watching this right now. Now, vegetables are smart choices, but what if you could enjoy a rich, deeply satisfying food that has 0 carbs and actually protects both your brain and your heart at the same time? Let's talk about that next. Food number 3, fatty fish, salmon and mackerel. Let's move from the garden to the sea, because when it comes to protecting your brain, your heart, and your long-term independence, fatty fish might just be your body's best ally. Salmon, mackerel, sardines, herring. All of them have something incredibly important in common. 0 carbs and a massive amount of omega-3 fatty acids. Omega-3s are anti-inflammatory compounds, which means they help calm down the low-level chronic inflammation that builds up in our bodies over time. The kind of inflammation that damages blood vessels, stiffens joints, clouds your thinking, and even accelerates memory loss. This isn't just theory or something I read in a magazine. A major long-term study from Harvard Medical School found that seniors with higher omega-3 intake had sharper thinking, better heart function, and even a significantly lower risk of cognitive decline and dementia. I've seen this play out in real life too. Helen, 73, from Michigan, told me she started eating salmon twice a week after feeling increasingly forgetful. Nothing fancy or expensive, just a simple fillet baked with lemon and fresh dill. Within about 2 months, she noticed a real difference. Fewer senior moments, as she calls them. More mental clarity throughout the day. And maybe it's just coincidence, but her mood became much more stable too. Her family noticed it before she did. It's not magic. It's just nutrition working with your body instead of against it. So if you haven't already, make fatty fish a regular guest on your dinner plate. Even canned wild-caught salmon works wonders, and it's affordable too. Just add a drizzle of olive oil and a squeeze of fresh lemon. Now, dinner's covered, but let's not forget about breakfast. There's one food that's been unfairly criticized and demonized for decades, But for seniors on a low-carb diet, it's nearly perfect. And it might just be sitting in your refrigerator right now. Let's talk about it next. Food number 4, eggs. Now let's shift to something that's probably already sitting in your kitchen right now. Eggs. They've been misunderstood for years, feared because of cholesterol, skipped in favor of sugary cereal or toast. But here's the honest truth. For older adults who are trying to control their blood sugar and stay mentally sharp, eggs might be one of the single best foods you can possibly eat. One large egg has less than 1 gram of carbs, absolutely no sugar, but it's loaded with high-quality protein plus essential nutrients like choline and lutein. Both of these are absolutely critical for memory, brain health, and vision as we age. You may not realize this, but choline supports the very cells your brain uses to think, remember, and process information. And lutein? It protects your eyes, especially from age-related vision loss like macular degeneration, which affects millions of Americans over 60. Let me tell you about Claire. She's 63, lives in Arizona. She used to skip breakfast entirely, or just grab a piece of toast on her way out the door. By 10 o'clock in the morning, her energy would completely crash. Foggy thinking, shaky hands, irritability. She just assumed it was low blood sugar, and that's how mornings were supposed to feel at her age. Her doctor suggested something incredibly simple: 2 boiled eggs and half an avocado every morning. No sugar, no crash, just steady fuel. Now she feels sharper by mid-morning, more balanced, more steady throughout the entire day. And here's the best part. It costs her less than a coffee shop muffin and keeps her satisfied for hours. Scrambled, poached, boiled, fried in a little olive oil. However you like them, eggs are affordable, easy to digest, and incredibly nourishing for seniors, especially when you pair them with healthy fats or greens. Quick question for you. How do you like your eggs? Or have you been avoiding them because of old cholesterol myths? Let us know in the comments below. Your tip might help someone else here. Now, eggs are fantastic for meals, but what about snacks? That's where a lot of us get tripped up. Coming up next, one small handful of this food can fight inflammation, boost your energy, and stabilize your blood sugar without any spike or crash. Let's take a look. Food number 5, nuts and seeds. Almonds and chia seeds. Let's talk about snacks, because for so many people over 60, that's when the blood sugar crashes really sneak in and sabotage us. You eat a good breakfast, you have a decent lunch, but by 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you're foggy, tired, maybe even a little shaky. And what do most people instinctively reach for? Cookies, crackers, maybe a granola bar or some pretzels. But here's the truth nobody wants to admit. Those quick fixes are almost always loaded with hidden sugar and refined carbs. They spike your blood sugar fast, give you a temporary boost, and then send it crashing right back down again within an hour. That's exactly why nuts and seeds can be an absolute game changer for seniors. Almonds, walnuts, pumpkin seeds, chia seeds. All of them are naturally low in carbs and sugar, but high in protein, healthy fats, and magnesium. That means they give you stable, sustained energy without any crash afterward. Let me tell you about Tony. He's 70, retired teacher from Texas. He used to grab 2 oatmeal cookies every single afternoon because he thought he needed that sugar to keep going. But his energy would completely tank by dinner time, and he'd just collapse on the couch. When he switched to a small handful of raw almonds and a cup of chia seed pudding instead, everything changed. No crash, no cravings, and he even noticed fewer leg cramps at night thanks to the magnesium boost from the nuts. Nuts and seeds also support bone density, improve nerve function, and help reduce silent inflammation, which is a major cause of chronic fatigue in older adults. Here's a simple tip. Keep a small bag of unsalted almonds in your car or your purse. Or soak chia seeds in unsweetened almond milk overnight for a simple, blood sugar-friendly dessert that tastes like pudding. Have you tried this swap yet? Drop a comment below and tell us what snack gives you the most steady energy throughout the day. Now, let's talk about something a little creamier. It's high in fat, yes, but it's actually one of the smartest foods for seniors trying to manage blood sugar naturally. And it might surprise you. Food number 6, avocados. Let's talk about a food that's been completely misunderstood for years, avocados. Many seniors still avoid them completely, thinking that fat is bad and will make them gain weight or clog their arteries. But that idea is outdated, and honestly, it might be holding you back from significantly better health. Avocados are rich in monounsaturated fats, the kind that protect your heart, improve insulin sensitivity, and help regulate blood sugar levels naturally. And here's what surprises most people. Avocados contain virtually no sugar at all, and their net carb count is incredibly low thanks to all the fiber they contain. That means they digest slowly, keep you feeling full and satisfied for hours, and they don't spike your blood sugar the way bread or pasta does. Joanne, 66, from California, avoided avocados for most of her adult life. She genuinely thought they were too fattening and would make her gain weight. But her nutritionist sat down with her, explained the actual science, and encouraged her to try adding just half an avocado to her lunch salad every day. Within just a few weeks, Joanne noticed a real difference. She felt satisfied much longer after meals. Her constant snacking dropped dramatically, and at her next checkup, her LDL cholesterol, the bad kind, had gone down, while her HDL, the good protective kind, had actually gone up. No medications, no crash diets, just the right kind of fat. You can slice avocado onto scrambled eggs, toss it into salads, add it to grilled vegetables, or just mash it up with lime juice. Garlic, and a pinch of sea salt for a creamy spread that supports your brain, your heart, and your blood sugar all at once. Have you been avoiding healthy fats out of old habit or fear? Let us know in the comments below. Your experience could genuinely help someone else who's watching this right now. Now, speaking of heart-healthy fats, this next food isn't something you chew, but just 1 tablespoon a day can protect your arteries and reduce inflammation. And it works quietly behind the scenes. Let's take a closer look. Food number 7, olive oil. Now let's talk about something so simple that it's often completely overlooked. Olive oil. It's not a food you chew or put on a plate by itself, but it's absolutely a food that heals. It's sugar-free, carb-free, and packed with powerful compounds that help fight chronic inflammation, protect your cardiovascular system, and even support memory and cognitive function as you age. The magic lies in its healthy monounsaturated fats and antioxidants like oleocanthal, which literally acts like nature's ibuprofen inside your body. And the science absolutely backs this up. Studies published in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology show that regular olive oil intake is directly linked to a lower risk of stroke, heart disease, and cognitive decline, especially in older adults over 60. In Mediterranean countries like Greece, Italy, and Spain, olive oil is part of everyday life. You'll find seniors in their 80s and 90s still walking to the market, tending their gardens, laughing with family over long meals. And they often credit olive oil as one of their keys to longevity and vitality. It's not fancy or expensive, but it's incredibly powerful. Let me give you a real example. Eleanor, 71, from Pennsylvania, started using extra virgin olive oil instead of margarine or butter about a year ago. She drizzled it over steamed broccoli, added it generously to her salads, and even used a teaspoon in her morning scrambled eggs. Within just a few weeks, she told me she felt lighter, less swollen, and her joints didn't ache as much. Her doctor noticed during her routine checkup that her blood pressure had dropped a few points without any medication changes. Small changes, but very real results. Have you made the switch to olive oil yet? Tell us in the comments how you use it in your daily cooking. You might inspire someone watching right now. Now, we've covered greens, fish, eggs, even oils. But our last food is controversial. Some people think it's terrible for you. But for seniors, it might actually be one of the smartest things you can add to your plate. Let's break the myth wide open. Food narrate cheese. And finally, let's talk about something that's been debated and argued about for years. Cheese. Some people call it unhealthy, too fatty, too salty, too processed. But here's the honest truth. For older adults, especially those cutting back on sugar and carbs, cheese might actually be one of the smartest, most satisfying foods to keep in your refrigerator. Why? Because most natural cheeses contain virtually no sugar. They're very low in carbs, high in protein, and rich in calcium, which is absolutely essential for keeping your bones strong and preventing fractures as you age. And that fat content everyone worries about? It actually helps you feel full and satisfied, so you're far less likely to reach for processed snacks or sweets an hour later. Let me tell you about Helen. She's 74 from Oregon. She used to snack on crackers, cookies, whatever was easy and sitting in the pantry. But her weight started creeping up year after year, and her blood sugar became harder and harder to manage. Then she made one small but powerful change. She replaced her afternoon snacks with just a few slices of sharp cheddar cheese and some cucumber slices. That's it. Within just a few weeks, her cravings dropped significantly. She didn't feel deprived or like she was suffering. And her doctor noticed at her next appointment that she wasn't gaining weight anymore. No pills, no guilt, no deprivation, just smarter snacking. Want to try it yourself? Start with hard-aged cheeses like Parmesan, Swiss, aged cheddar, or Gouda. Stick to about 1 to 2 ounces per serving. Pair it with sliced vegetables, olives, or a handful of nuts. And if you're lactose sensitive or have digestive issues with dairy, aged cheeses are usually much easier to digest because the aging process breaks down most of the lactose. Have you tried this snack swap before? Drop a comment and share your experience. Someone else watching might learn something valuable from what you've discovered. Now, we've just covered 8 incredible, powerful foods that can transform how you feel every single day. But here's the problem. There's one common mistake that could still be quietly undoing all your progress, even if you're eating all the right foods. What is that mistake? That's exactly what we're going to uncover in our next video, so make sure you don't miss it. Closing and call to action. These 8 foods we just covered may be low in carbs and sugar, but they are absolutely packed full of the nutrients your body desperately needs to stay strong, energized, mobile, and independent. If your goal is to avoid blood sugar spikes, reduce chronic inflammation, protect your heart and brain, or simply feel better and more alive day to day, start with these small, realistic, sustainable changes. Even just swapping out one high-carb processed food for one of these better options can make a noticeable difference within just a week or 2. And please remember, always check with your doctor or healthcare provider before making any big dietary changes, especially if you're currently managing a condition like diabetes, high blood pressure, or heart disease. Your doctor knows your full medical history and can guide you safely. If this video helped you today, please hit that like button and subscribe to this channel for more senior-friendly nutrition tips, health advice, and practical strategies you can actually use. And whatever you do, don't miss our next video, because we're going to reveal one very common food mistake that might be quietly undoing all your hard work and efforts to stay healthy. Thank you so much for watching. Stay well, stay strong, and I'll see you in the next one.